All right, we look good. YouTube keeps refreshing. Looks like we're good. I'm gonna say we're good and just assume that it's working. You never know with YouTube, but it seems like it's good. This is not a joke this time. I am actually here. New studio, still getting the kinks out of it. I'm still messing with the lighting. Let me know how this looks. Let me know how the audio is. I think I've dialed it in pretty good this week, but always looking for ways to improve. If you are watching, love to take all of your questions. Just make sure that you tag me in Back to Blading on the live chat. Before I get started, hey everyone, welcome to Gear Talk episode 67. This is the show that I do every other week where we talk about the geekier side of rollerblading. Typically, we talk about different wheel hardnesses, different wheel profiles, the real weird stuff that you never really cared about when you were a kid. But now that we have so many different options out there in the market, so many different wheels, so many different products, it's really fun to look at the different setups that you can have and see what's best for you. As I do every week, I want to start off by thanking the helmetinitiative.org for donating helmets for us to give away. Typically with Gear Talk, we give away 2 helmets every week. Gear Talk helmets, most importantly, I love to wear my helmet. I think it's silly if you don't wear a helmet. The Helmet Initiative has been really good about helping us get helmets so that we can give them away. I know that helmets are typically the last thing that people want to buy. You know, they're 50, 60 bucks or so to get a good helmet. So it's important that you wear a helmet, but I understand that it might be financially difficult sometimes to get a helmet. We are here to help. Go to, let me set up the link. All scatterbrain in the new office, the new setup today. Let me get this link enabled. Go to backtoblading.com/helmet. I will put a link in the live chat. Enable. I'll put a link in the live chat. Backtoblading.com/helmet is where you go for signing up to win a helmet. So we give away 2 helmets every episode of Gear Talk. If you need a helmet, there it goes. If you need a helmet, please just go and sign up. We would love to give you one. It's a little more difficult getting helmets over to the UK. For whatever reason, things have gotten really expensive to import in there. And we had a couple of helmets returned because people couldn't afford the import taxes or fees or whatever. So we'll figure out a way to get you a helmet. But this is open worldwide. You know, everybody everywhere needs to wear a helmet when they're skating. There should be no excuse. If money is your problem, we're here to help. We're going to be giving away 2 helmets for this episode. Backtoblading.com/helmet. Again, thank you so much to the helmetinitiative.org for helping us out with the helmets to give away. And thank you to our Patreon supporters for getting the funds so that we can get this, oops, bit bright. Thank you to the Patreon for getting us the funds so that we can get these helmets shipped out. It is a new light. Let me see if I can turn down the light a little bit. Let me see if I can turn down the light a little bit. I think I can. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'm going to get... Hey, all right, that should be better. I have a remote for the light, so I can turn it down a little bit. And I think it's working. The problem is that it is pretty close to me. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Maybe still a little bright, but it's probably a little bit better. New studio is always difficult, trying to break in new things. You've got to fall a few times before you figure it out. We're using a new light. We've got new lighting in the back, but I'm feeling pretty good. And it looks like things are a little better. All right. Before I get started, like I do every week, I always like to talk about my current setup. So this is my first week being able to skate outside again. It's been so wet and cold. I haven't been able to skate outside. You know, either it's raining or it's just miserable outside. And I have a rule that, I don't know who said it, but I have a rule that I don't skate outside if the temperature is below my age, and I'm 44. So I will definitely skate if it's in the 30s, but that's pushing it. You know, around 40 is probably where I'd like to be. But I was able to get out this week, and I skated the Chroma Retros again. But this time I was on the Mega Frames. So I've been really enjoying the Chroma Retros. These are a Razor's Colt that have the Chroma lacing system. Really flexy area. It's really nice up top. I really like the fit of these things. Not only is it a size 10-12 shell, which fits my 10.5 foot perfectly, but the way that this lacing system works and the way that it kind of sucks your foot in, you can see it squishes, sucks your foot in. Feels really good on my foot. The liner is based on the Rain V3, which is one of my favorite liners. It fit really well, no complaints. I did have some issues this week. So I was skating outside, I was skating at Marsh, and I was doing some airs, and I did have some issues with some shock, some heel shock. That is unfortunate. This being a raised heel boot, there is no internal shock absorber in here. All that's in there is the liner. So I'm feeling everything. Not normally a problem when I'm skating in my warehouse with 85A wheels and just doing grinds. But as soon as I start doing airs, I start to really feel that shock. I'm going to take the 85As, I hope, take the 85As out this weekend and skate anti-rocker at Marsh again. That will be a really good test because then I'll be able to see if the softer wheels makes a difference with airs. These are 90A, I think, and they were a little hard and I felt the shock in my heels. So not ideal. I do prefer a flat heel boot that can put a shock absorber on the inside. That's the way that I would much rather be. But as for fit, these feel great. I'm enjoying the grind. I'm not missing too many soles, maybe a few soles, but my consistency has gotten a lot better. I do wish that this was a little bit wider, but it's not bad. But the Mega Frames. So I've never skated Mega Frames. I've heard a lot of great things about Mega Frames, and I really enjoyed the ride. The Mega Frame is a ground control frame. It fits a 4x64. So 64 millimeter wheels is a flat setup. I'm skating with 65s, and although this was not recommended, they fit just fine. You can see they spin just fine, no problem. Actually, let me get my other skate because I'll be able to show you my Royale angle. So this is my Royale foot, my left foot, and you can see on the frame where I was hitting. So I was hitting a lot on this edge of the frame, which is where the wheel bite protection is. That's really nice. I do feel like I was able to get a few Royales without getting wheel bite, but I did get a lot of wheel bite. I just had a really difficult time locking consistently with this angle on the ledge that I was skating. I had heard that if I skated smaller wheels, like a 60 millimeter wheel flat, these frames would be magical. I have not done that, and I don't really plan on doing that. I think skating flat, again, I'm always on the fence about skating flat. I feel like there are advantages for certain situations, but if I'm skating ledges, I want anti-rocker. Like I want to be able to do back Royales without worrying about any wheel bite. I don't have the time and the patience to get my positioning perfect. I just want to be able to jump on and slide. So for me, I don't know that this flat setup is for me. I did enjoy skating it though, and at Marsh it was a lot of fun because they have that big bowl area that you're able to just carve around, get a lot of speed. Skating flat was really great for that. This week though, I think I'm going to switch back to my anti-rocker frame, see if that softer wheel makes any difference for landing those airs. I do think that it would be good to put an insole in that has a little bit of shock absorption. I think that would help a lot, but you take what you can get. It is a raised heel boot. It's a Colt. It's all plastic back here, so not much you can really do about it. Then again, Colts typically are only in like 150 or so, less than $200. So you kind of get what you pay for. But yeah, I really like these skates. I think the boots are great. I think they would be a great skate for anybody who's really interested in just getting a traditional style skate, you know, like a Majestic 12, but doesn't want to get a Rossi skate. This is a really good option. I don't know that the Shimas are available anymore, but you can get Colts. They have the Colt Charcoals, I think, that are a really nice looking skate. Doesn't have the fancy lacing system, but it should be the exact same skate. Aside from the liner, you'd have to upgrade the liner. So yeah, that's my current setup. Absolutely loving the Shima ones. Highly recommended if you're interested in that sort of thing. Wasn't a huge fan of the Mega frames. I liked them for skating. Didn't really like them for grinding. Gonna try skating my balance frames again, anti-rocker this weekend, and see how I do. All right. So a little bit of housekeeping. So much dirt all over. I hope that didn't get in the microphone. I'm sorry. So much dirt all over the place. One of these wheels was really dirty. So a little bit of housekeeping. We had a busy week here at the Balance Distribution Warehouse. First of all, on Tuesday, we had the delivery of the compass frames. Compass frames are my big wheel frame that I was super excited to design. The first frame that I've designed from soup to nuts with 3D printing, sending off files to the manufacturer, getting samples of an injection molded part, going through production, designing axles. I've never designed an axle before, but I designed axles. I designed the frame bolts. I designed everything with this frame. Designed the packaging. And they just kind of sat for a while. So the production went great, got samples, tested them out. The production went great, and they were done. They were waiting to get picked up, and for whatever reason, my shipper didn't pick them up. Now this was around Thanksgiving, where things get really busy out in China. They're trying to beat that Christmas rush, and just my good, my luck that it ended up around that time. But for whatever reason, the packages weren't picked up. The ocean package, I split the shipments into two. I ship some in air, which takes about a week and a half, and I ship some in ocean, which takes about a month and a half. So for whatever reason, the air shipment wasn't picked up. The ocean shipment, however, was. So in the first week of December, I had one shipment on its way, the other shipment sitting there, and no way to get it. So I'm calling, I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Finally get a hold of somebody the middle of December, and they're like, oh yeah, do you want us to pick that up and ship it? And I'm like, no, like air shipment's going to be super expensive. I've already missed Christmas. Let's just go with the ocean shipment. Should be here in January. Fine. Get a few emails that are a little concerning saying, oh, it's been delayed here, it's been delayed here. Turns out that wasn't the case. I don't know why. I was set on these frames arriving in mid-February, but they arrived this week. So super excited to have the compass frames in stock. Let me show you what they look like. So this is the compass frame packaging. So this is the Blue Ridge Parkway frame. All of the compass wheels are based on cities. Our slogan is skate everywhere, or motto. I don't know what the difference is between a slogan and a motto, but we like to skate wherever we can, and skate everywhere is the website. We're always trying to come up with new places that people can skate, and this is a map of the Blue Ridge Parkway. Blue Ridge Parkway is an amazing trail that goes up and down the mountains in North Carolina. It goes through Asheville, which is where this scene is. You can see this is Asheville over here, this big intersection. And you can take the Blue Ridge Parkway all around North Carolina. This is a nylon bag that we had custom made for us. Little drawstring so that you can reuse it if you want to put some wheels in here, some hardware, some whatever you want. Dirty clothes, extra towels or whatever. Throw it in this bag. And in the bag are the compass frames. So this bag has two 80mm frames. So these are the compass frames. They come as frame only, or they'll come as a kit. You can get them pre-installed with wheels. So these are the compass 80mm. They also come with a 72mm frame. That's more for people who have Majestic 12s or skates that are fairly sloppy. If you wanted to put these on rems, you'd probably get the 72mm frame. You don't want anything too tall if you don't have a lot of support, but if you have a boot with support, like a 909, anything with a 45-degree strap, you should be fine with 80 millimeters. So this is the 80. It is a 260 millimeter wheelbase. So from 1 to 4, it's 260 millimeters. Typically, you find an 80 millimeter frame, the 1 to 4 is 243 millimeters. That's pretty short. It's as short as you can get with 80 millimeter wheels and not have the wheels touching. We figure, you know what, we don't want it short, we want it a little bit longer. Most of us have fairly big feet, so a short frame is going to suck. And if you have a smaller foot, like a size 7 or a size 6, you can still get away with skating a 260 frame. Might feel a little long, but you can still get away with it. Versus big feet people having a real struggle with 243s with really short frames. You don't want any of that. The Compass frames are designed as an all-around skate, all-around frame. So they are injection molded with glass-filled nylon, same stuff that we use for the 50-50 balance frames. So you can grind on them. They are countersunk axles, so you can do macchios, you can do X grinds, you can do any of the drag tricks, you can do Mizu, stuff like that. They're not really designed for grinds. There's no groove. They're really designed to just go out and skate. But if you wanted to hit up a ledge or a rail while you're out, no reason not to. These things will protect your axles. You won't have any issues there. You won't rub, you won't get stuck or anything like that. And they have a beveled edge. So it's a little bit thicker out here, a little thin up here. Really nice clean line. The coolest thing in my eyes is that the way that we designed it with the 260 millimeter split is you can always access the UFS bolts. So if you wanted to put these on your frame, on your skates, all you would have to do is take off the old frames, put these on, and use one of those long Allen keys. Just stick it in there, tighten it down, and you're good to go. We've started building these at the warehouse. This is a complete that we've been selling. We put the frame spacers in with a little locking nut, so we don't have extra bags or anything that we're sending out. So this is how they'll come. All you'll have to do is just unscrew it and then put your frame bolt on and screw it down onto your skate. Really awesome. I'm super happy with the way that they've turned out. The axles are custom made, so these are the Compass axles. The frames, the frame bolts are custom made. They have the custom Compass logo on them. Really happy with them. They are available now on the website, and they should be shipping to shops next week. We'll be shipping them out tomorrow to shops. If you pre-ordered, all of the 80 millimeter completes went out today. Most of them, maybe some of them are still stuck. The 72 millimeter we haven't started building yet, but we will tomorrow. So you'll be getting your shipping confirmation tomorrow. With any luck, we'll be through all of the shipping by the end of tomorrow, and then we'll get to shop shipping. Just, you know, a huge thanks to everybody out there for supporting this project. I know that it was late. I know that I kept saying that, oh, it's right around the corner, it's going to be here any minute. It wasn't. It was out of my control, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm responsible for it. I do appreciate you and all of your support. We couldn't have done this project without you. This was really an amazing project for me to be involved with. And I hope that you like it. I hope you can go out there and skate fast, skate everywhere. These frames are really fun. As I said last week when I was talking about the dual durometer wheels, I am going to be skating Compass frames. I'm going to be skating those cool dual durometer cushiony wheels. I don't remember what they're called, but I have them set up on my adapts. Check this out. Ooh. Talk about a setup. So this is the 72 millimeter Compass frame. These are 76 millimeter Power Slide Defcon dual density wheels. They are 78A, 85A. And this is fierce. Talk about a masterpiece. Look at this. So 4x76. That's going to be a really great ride. The way that you can get around that, if you've got the right sole plates that have a little recess underneath, you can have a wheel that sticks up above the frame, just like how a Wish frame does it. A wheel that sticks up above the frame, just a few millimeters, and ride a 76 millimeter wheel flat on a 72 mil frame, which gives you a much lower ride height than if you were riding these on an 80 millimeter frame. The Adapt are an amazing skate for free skates. The carbon is super, super solid. They cinch your foot really nicely with the nubuck. It's a really great ride. I'm really looking forward to getting out and skating this as soon as the weather's better. It might be raining this weekend, but as soon as the weather's better, I'm going to get out and ride these. I just love this look. I think this is an amazing look. And I'm super excited to skate these 72 mil frames. Anyway, my new urban setup when I get a chance. I will report back on how those dual durometer wheels are, because I'm super excited about them. It should be a really comfortable, cozy, like, ride, you know, shock absorption and everything, but we'll see if it's just marketing or if it actually does what it's supposed to do. All right, so that's not all. So not only did we get the compass frames in, but we announced our new Chroma rider and wheel. It's been months in the making. Chroma, for those who don't know, is the high-end wheel company that we started last year. The 50/50 wheel project has been a huge success, and we wanted to make sure that we could support other riders that might not necessarily want to be on 50/50 frames. Maybe they have a different frame company sponsor. Maybe they just don't like 50/50 frames. That's cool. But the wheels are great, and I want to make sure that we can help people who deserve great sponsors, who deserve pro products, and help people out so that we can make sure that there's really good quality out there. We love the wheels, and I wanted to make sure that we had a company that could use the 50/50 wheels, but make them a little different, not set in the 50/50 look and feel, but do something completely different. We started with Stefan's frame back in November, Stefan's wheel and frame back in November. His first Chroma wheel is this one. So this is his frame that came with the Chroma wheel. These are 60mm 90A. They have the owl and the purple and all of that. Really cool wheel. They hold up super well. You can still see mold lines on mine. Granted, I've only skated them about 3 times, but they are a beast. These things last forever. Our second wheel. So the question was always, is Chroma going to be all black? Because 50/50 wheels are always black. Our Chroma wheel is going to be all black. No! So today we announced a new wheel. This one is for China. We're super thrilled to have China on our team. She's an amazing skater, always has been, and we've been wanting to work with China for years. She's just the epitome of style. She's your favorite skater's favorite skater, and I mean, couldn't be a more deserving person. For whatever reason, she hasn't had a lot of luck with getting pro products in the past. I think that's about to change with the beginning of Chroma wheels, and hopefully skate companies and frame companies also see that she's an amazing rider and they should follow suit. However, so we announced China's wheel today. So it is not in stock yet. It comes in next week, but I do have the packaging. So her wheel is going to be 58mm 88A. It is the same as the 50/50 58mm wheel. We sent China a box of all of the 50/50 wheels, 60mm and 58mm, and said, try them all and see what you like. And she did. She put every wheel on, she went out and skated, and she's like, this is too soft, this is too hard, this one's just right. So she found the 5888 as the best urethane mix for the way that she skates. They will come in the box. We made these boxes for Stefan's wheel. This is a brand new design. It's slightly smaller for the 58mm wheels so that they don't clack around all over the place on the inside. But it is a custom box. I haven't shown the back, but her dog, or at least a caricature of her dog, is on the back, as well as on the front. Every Chroma wheel pack comes with a sticker sheet. So this is the sticker sheet that comes with it. So you'll be able to put Chroma stickers with China's dog all over your helmet. Lots of thumbs up. And we have some t-shirts. So I haven't shared these t-shirts yet. These will be announced tomorrow. But we have a t-shirt and hoodie that we're going to be sharing as well. So this is the t-shirt. This is the thumbs up logo. The China's dog on the front. This was designed by Jeremy Beitall. It is an oversized 3-color print. They're on the Gildan soft style shirts. Really awesome. It's so cool. And you'll also be able to pick up the hoodie. So the hoodie is a full zip. It has the Chroma logo in the maroon and sky blue on the front. And then on the back, wow, huge print with the thumbs up print as well. So these are going to be available in limited quantities this weekend. We're going to start pre-orders on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. If you're a shop or if you want to support your shop, get a hold of your shop and ask them to bring in the Chroma stuff. We also have stickers. Every t-shirt and hoodie is going to come with a sticker, matching sticker for your helmet. We're going to have sticker packs as well, so you can order some of these. If you don't really need wheels right now, you don't need shirts or anything, but you want to support or you want to get some stickers, we'll have sticker packs for you as well. While supplies last, we only have a couple hundred of these, so I don't know how quickly they'll move, but we don't have a ton. I should mention that China does get a royalty on all the wheels that we sell. She'll be getting $2 for every wheel that we sell, every wheel pack. And supplies are limited. We don't have a ton of wheels, but regardless of you know, where you order, she'll be getting $2. She might get a little bit more if we order direct from the website. But if you order from a shop, every order gets $2 for China. I think it's important that we do good royalties for people, and I think it's important that we're transparent with royalties that we do. It's something that needs to happen. You know, people are skating really hard. Skaters deserve to get taken care of. Artists deserve to get taken care of. You know, getting product and exposure is cool, but there's nothing like a little profit sharing. So we definitely take care of our riders here. Again, thanks so much, China, for working with us. Welcome to the team. Love having you here. And thank you all for the support. It's been amazing to see the outpouring of support for Chroma, for what we're doing, for China, what she's doing. I feel like this is long overdue. And I'm really thrilled that we were able to bring it out and bring it out proper with the full release, with the packaging, with the stickers, with the t-shirts, with the teaser campaign. We're trying to do it right because we think that our riders deserve it. Again, thank you all for the support. It's been a busy week. It's not going to end. The wheels, by the way, they arrive in Atlanta. They're coming by air. I was talking about how I do shipping. The wheels are coming by air. They'll be here on Friday. They land in Atlanta, which is our local hub. And then they have to get driven from Atlanta, Georgia to Durham, North Carolina, where we are. That's about a day drive. So I'm expecting them to be in on Monday or Tuesday of next week. So you'll order them on Saturday, we'll ship out on Tuesday. All the packaging and stickers are here, just waiting on the wheels. And as soon as they come in, they'll go right out the door. All right, enough of that. So much promotion this morning. I try not to do it that often. Gear Talk is more of an informative show, but when things are so exciting for me, I gotta share. I think it'd be silly for me not to. I promise that I don't do this every show. As I always do, if you have questions, I would love to answer your questions. Make sure that you tag Back to Blading in your chat. We do this every other Wednesday at 9 p.m. So if you're watching this on the YouTube after we've gone live, please leave a comment. I read all of my comments, even the ugly, nasty ones. I do block people if you're just being a jerk. But if you have something constructive to say, good or bad, I would love to get your comment and I'd love to talk to you about it. If you are on the live stream right now and have a question for me that I can answer, anything on the wall, anything in your mind, please tag Back to Blading. I would love nothing more than to talk to you about it and answer your question. All right, let's see. Let's get to the skates because that might be a long one and I want to make sure that I reserve my voice. So I get new skates every couple of months, and one of the ways that I do that is through the Patreon. I want to thank everybody who's supporting me on the Patreon. Not only does the money go to help fund the Helmet Initiative shipping, but I use the funds from the Patreon to get skates so that I can review them. And I couldn't do this without your support. I really appreciate it. Along with the skates, we do, so what is in it for a Patreon, right? Just giving me money, that's cool, and I love that. But we also do a live stream. So now at the warehouse, we're doing live streams from our little warehouse area. We have a nice little grind box area that I'm doing weekly live streams. I missed today, but I promise I'll be here tomorrow. And it's another opportunity just to talk and ask questions. All of the live streams are done live on YouTube, so you can join anytime you want. Hit the bell so that you can subscribe and know when I'm going live. And we would love to have you in the live stream. If you can't make it and if you want to watch it on the repeat, that's where the Patreon comes in. All of the archived live streams go to the Patreon. So you'll be able to watch hours and hours of content. Me skating, me learning tricks, my friends skating. I actually have a few friends here this week that should be skating with me tomorrow, which will be fun. And I'd love to share that with you all and have you all ask questions. Another way to support, the Patreon isn't a huge amount of money. It's like $1 a month. And you get access to all the archives, hear the podcasts early, all that sort of thing. Anybody who's supported, really appreciate it. If you can't support for whatever reason, that's fine. If you choose not to support, that's fine. But I always like to mention it, especially when I get new skates, because I couldn't do this without your support. Enough of that. Here's the box. Oh my God, it's heavy. So I got these skates last week. I am a huge fan of USD. I'm not getting paid to say that, but I love USD. I think their quality is top notch. I haven't had any issues with a USD skate in a long time. I feel like every skate that I get might not be perfect for me, but I always feel good about the quality of the skate. I feel like everything is dialed in. I feel like it's not missing hardware. I feel like the hardware holds up. It doesn't strip. These are some new skates that I am super excited to get. I haven't had one of these models before. Any guesses? Any guesses? Oh, it's in a bag. These are the Montre Swayze. So this is like his third sway, I think. He had a blue one, I think. No, he had a black one. Did he have a blue one? Maybe he had a blue one. He had a skinned one. He had a black and red one, I think. And then this is the white and red one. Where to begin? This is a lot of look. For me, this is a lot of look. I am really impressed with the build quality of this skate. It looks so clean, so well put together. So a little bit of history on this. The USD Sway is actually a mold. I don't know that Powerslide purchased the mold or designed the mold. It's actually a mold based on an old skate called the Bronx. The Bronx was a recreational skate sold under the Playlife brand. Playlife is the cheaper brand of Powerslide. So you could, if you know cars, you could say the Honda to the Acura, where Honda would be the car for most people, and then the Acura would be the more high-end luxury car. This is based on the Honda, and then USD would be like the Acura in this comparison. A couple years back, they decided to start using that Bronx shell as an aggressive shell, and they came out with the Sway. And it didn't look so good. It had a lot of dots, if I remember correctly, a lot of dots all over it, and the lines were a little weird. It needed some help. So over the years, they've been refining this shell to make it more, dare I say, throne-like. If you look down, it definitely looks like a USD throne. I actually have my thrones. Let me get my thrones. Can I reach them? I can. So the look down of these Sways, very similar in my eyes to the look down of the thrones, the USD thrones. And a lot of the lines, if you look at it, a lot of the lines are very similar. The toe box, the way that it wraps around in front, it's a very similar look. So these Sway slowly refined until they came to a point where I was really happy with them. Now, I've never skated an actual Sway before. I skated the Powerslide Zoom. What's the Powerslide Zoom, you may ask? Well, I have those here too. These are the Powerslide Zoom. It's the same skate as the USD Sway. If you look at the boot, you can see the boot is exactly the same. The big difference is this doesn't come with a sole plate. In this case, it comes with a Trinity mount adapter, which is a little piece of shim plastic that converts the bottom of this boot, uses the existing hole pattern, uses the bottom of this boot to come up with a Trinity mount, which is the Powerslide mounting system, kind of like how UFS would be for aggressive or a 165 mount would be for traditional rec skates. It uses 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, to mount the frame to the boot. And that's supposed to give you better lateral support, more responsiveness. It feels a little bit taller, to be honest, in practical terms. I don't know that the 165 is necessary. The Trinity is necessary on this boot. I think a 165 straight to the boot might be a better option. But I did enjoy skating these with the Trinity mount. I do think that the reason why I like them so much is because I like the boot so much. So this boot is really comfortable. It's a hard plastic shell, but because it had this ratchet buckle, I could get this really tight and I could get a really good fit. The liner that came with it was really nice. And the cool thing is, if you take off this slider on the side, you could get a pair of Sway sole plates, pop off the Trinity mount adapter, and put on the Sway sole plate, and you basically have a Sway, but with better support, with a ratchet buckle and a better buckle up top. I think it's the same buckle, actually. No, same buckle up top, but a ratchet buckle, so you have a lot better support. And I loved these skates. I loved my Zoom Sway mashup skates. I was skating really well with them. It was right in the beginning of the pandemic, I think. So I was skating a few spots that I don't normally skate, but I was skating great. Felt really good, felt really confident. But I realized that I never actually gave the real swell, or the real, I keep saying swell. Swell is another, why they have 2 skates with the same names, I don't know. Swell is another product in the Powerslide line. I never really gave the Sway a chance. When I saw these, I said, well, I gotta get them. First of all, 170 bucks, I think, 180 bucks boot only. That is a pretty amazing price. For a pro model that comes with a 45-degree strap, a MyFit Fat Boy liner, I mean, that's what you need in a high-end skate, right? 45-degree strap, MyFit Fat Boy liner, and a nice sole plate. That's what most high-end skates have. Most of them don't even have the 45-degree strap, for that matter. They just come with the lacing system. I love a 45-degree strap. So when I saw this, I was like, well, I've got to get these skates. I did want to take them apart though and take a look. So this 45-degree strap isn't a ratchet buckle. It is just the Velcro. It looks like it's a little beefier than the one that came on the Aeon, but it does still have the Velcro in the back. This Velcro comes undone, so not really a big fan of that. I don't know why they don't just sew that tight. Makes sense to me just to sew it so that it can't come undone. Nobody's taking this off. If they do, they can just use the screws and take off the 45-degree strap altogether. So I'll probably sew this. I think that's a good recommendation to keep it from coming undone. I'm sure it won't come undone on me, but make sure that it's sewn so that it doesn't come undone. The buckle looks nice and sturdy, no problems up here. The traditional pull-out buckle, plastic, but nice solid plastic. Looks like it's got a really good spring in it to keep it sealed. No issues there. Gotta love this liner. Geez, look at that. So it is a heat moldable liner, high top liner. So it says high on it, not as in hello high, but as in high top. I've never seen one of these. I do have a Fat Boy liner here somewhere, I think. Oh no, I don't. I did have a Fat Boy liner here. These look really good. I mean, they look like a legit, like higher end liner. Like this is the sort of liner that you would pay $80 for aftermarket. It has the neoprene toe, it seems. Still has the stuff in there. I haven't even tried them on. The paper wedge on the inside. It's got the neoprene toe. This whole front area is actually neoprene, so it probably does a really good job with adjustable sizes. Really nice cushioned ride, less responsive. If you're looking for a more responsive intuition sort of ride, this probably isn't the liner for you, but it definitely looks like it's got a lot more room for your toes, so you should be able to fit, maybe even downsize. Get a liner that might be a little smaller for you. My foot is 28.5 centimeters. This is a 27.5, 28.2, so I'll be right in that sweet spot of probably my toes touching but not hurting, which is a good thing. It does have the Montre monkey on it. I'm told that as a kid, his grandma told him he was like a monkey jumping around all the time. That's where that comes from. So that's where I'm going to stick with it. But you can tell that it's Montre's legit liner. It's not just an off-the-shelf liner, just like how Shima's had the Shima on the back. Montre's got the little monkey on it. They are heat moldable, which is going to be really nice. I'll probably heat mold these because I haven't heat molded a liner in a long time. Heat moldable basically means that you break in your liner so that it fits around your foot by putting in the oven at like 200 degrees for about 10 minutes. It says here 80 degrees Celsius. I think that's what that is. I usually do around 200 degrees. You put it in for about 10 minutes or so. Pull them out, put them back in the boot, put them on your feet, tighten them up like you're going to do, and then just sit for a little while. This material on the side, when it gets hot, it gets squishy and it moves around like a gel. And then when it gets cooler, it hardens. So as you tighten up your skate super tight, the way that you usually would tie it up, you're going to feel this real squishiness in there. As soon as it cools down, it'll form around your foot and it'll make it nice and comfortable. So you'll get a custom fit every time. My fit, that's where they come from. What's on the inside? Let's check out this insole. So typically with the swell, or with the, I keep saying swell. Typically with the sway, there was a shock absorber on the inside, if I remember correctly. This one doesn't have any shock absorber. So this is just a super thin, weird, it's got a little arch support on the inside. I don't know how my foot's gonna feel about that. It's a little bit more raised here than here. This is like paper thin towards the heel. In the middle, in the arch, it's nice and supportive, and then it goes back to paper thin. So it's probably good for people with high arches. If you're not already putting in your custom insole or footbed, whatever you want to call them, this is probably a good one for you. And then underneath, there is a shock absorber. Okay. So this is the insole that protects the bolts and keeps your liner from rubbing on the bolts on the bottom. It does have this probably like 5 mil, 10 mil heel lift. I'm not a huge fan of this. Again, if I could, I would much rather have this shell be completely flat. But this is not a bad compromise. At least it's got a little bit of a shock absorption. It's not just plastic on plastic. So this will go down there and provide a little bit of comfort for your heels when you're skating. Usually when you land gaps, when you land airs, things like that, you'll land mostly on your heels. So that is what this is for. Overall, I really like this. So this is a really great looking skate. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. I've never skated skates with that much red on them. I don't skate skates with white on them. I won't be skating them this weekend. I want to get one more session in with my Shimas, but I will skate them next weekend, assuming that it's not too wet outside. I'm thinking white frames. I do have red frames, but that might be a lot of red. Do I have red frames over there? I do have red frames over there. Let me see what the chat says. Let me take off the mic real quick. I'll go get some frames and I'll let the chat decide which frames I should put on. Hold on. Go all over the place. All right, can y'all hear me? Yeah, it looks like you can hear me. I love this new studio because I have so many things, but I'm so distracted. Typically, if I were still in the garage, I would just say, oh, I can't reach them. But now it's like I can see them, and I'm like, oh, I can go and get them. So I'm gonna go get them. All right, I need your help. Everybody listening in the chat, I need you to tell me which frames I should do with these Montres. If you are listening, all I need you to say is red or white in the chat, and I will tally up the winner and I will skate that setup. All right, let's start with the white. The white setup. Or the red setup. All right, let me know in the chat which one you think. You don't have to tag me in it. You can tag me in it if you want. They both look pretty good. And funny enough, the red is like almost perfect. It's like a really good red. It's gonna be close. It looks like a lot of, ooh, all over the place. It looks like a lot of white. Looks like a lot of white. White, 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 red. Red doesn't match, Stephen says. All right. Oh, Brandon says red and then changes to white. A lot of people jumping back to the white train. A lot of people on the white train. I think white. I think white is the way to go. I think what I might do is white with maybe red juice blocks. That could look good. Problem is I only have black wheels, so I got to get some white wheels. I think I have those. Oh, I could skate. I'm sure that would be cool with Joey and Todd, but I have the mushroom blading wheels. I'll skate that. That'll be a cool setup. So I'll skate these with the mushroom blading wheels and something in the middle. Maybe red juice blocks. That would be a good setup. All right. Thank you, chat, for making this decision. White all the way. Good calls. A lot of good arguments for red, but I think white is the winner. I'm excited about these skates. Just how crazy they look. I mean, I would never in a million years skate these as like a choice. They're not my style, but I'm really excited to try them. You know what I think it's going to do is the pants are going to really matter. So I got to figure out what pant I should wear with them. I typically wear jeans. I think Montre usually wears black pants. So I'll probably go get some black pants, maybe black jeans. I think that's the way to pull this look off. I'm not going to be doing the arm cut t-shirt. I don't think I have the guns I know I have the tan lines that I can't pull that look off. Need some sunglasses maybe. A few misty flips, and this is going to be golden. Montre is one of my favorite skaters. So for me to be able to skate these skates, I love it. I felt the same when I was skating the Shadows and I was trying to epitomize Chris Farmer. It was like, I can channel these pro skaters. I'm going to be channeling Montre on this. I'm going to do some 360 Royales on down ledges and some misty flips. So tune in for that. It's not going to be this weekend. It's going to be next weekend. But I'm super excited to get these skates. USD is just killing it. It's a great, great design, great looking skate. I'm really excited to try them out. All right, let me get some water and then answer some questions. If you do have questions, I would love to answer your question. I'm going to scroll to the top and see if there were any questions, but tag Back to Blading. They'll show up with a little orange label so that I can see them. Tag Back to Blading so that I can see them. I would love to answer your questions. I'm here all night. Keep the questions coming. And again, thank you all for joining me. It is a busy week, and I'm thrilled to be here with you. All right, scrolling up. First one I see, Jeff Metz. Back to Blading is a man of his word. He promised me a zip-up hoodie last year. I did. I don't think I promised you it to be in Chroma. These came out so good. It's just such a, I mean, Jeremy is so good. The size of this logo is just immense. So this is a size medium. This is a medium. So it's going to be smaller on the large. We do make them in small, medium, large, extra large. We have a few double XLs as well, but it's just massive. I love it. We've never done a full zip hood before, but Jeremy said, you know, trust me, it's gonna look great. So I trusted him, and it does. Shops are going to be getting those too. So if you don't order from us and you're interested, contact your local shop. It's super important to support local shops. They are the reason why new skaters get into the sport. So while I love your support, if your local shop has this stuff available, nothing wrong with buying from your local shop. You know, I still get paid. So, and China still gets paid. So we are good with the money. Do what you can if you want any of this stuff. Buy it wherever you can, but always support local if you can. Thank you, Jeff, for all the support. Grivet Gaming says, in a post-pandemic world, how much rollerblading goodwill will there still be? It's a great question. I don't know. When did I start the helmet initiative? Was it summer? It was probably summer during the pandemic. It had nothing to do with the pandemic, though, for me. I was... full disclosure, I'm really good friends with Jason Marshall, and he fell and hit his head and ended up in a coma. And he was just skating out in front of his house with his kid. And that sucks. And that could have happened to anyone. He's a professional skater. He is an amazing ice hockey player. And he fell and tripped on something and hit his head and was in a coma. That's not okay. So I'm always going to be, a proponent of helmets, and whenever I can, as long as I have funds available and helmets available, I'm going to be giving them away to people. I think blading in itself is a pretty generous community. You know, I think we all have been given so much shit over the years for being rollerbladers, for fruit booting, all that stuff. I think anybody still skating kind of has pretty thick skin and doesn't want anybody to leave blading. So if they see somebody at the skate park on rollerblades, you go over there and you say, "Hi, I'm your best friend. Let's talk about skates." That's not normal. And I don't think that was due to the pandemic. I think that was just the way rollerbladers are. It'll be interesting though. I know for me personally, community is my main theme for this year. It's the reason why I've built out this warehouse. It's the reason why I have a showroom here. I want to make sure that there's a local spot for people in North Carolina, or people visiting North Carolina can come through, look at skating stuff, skate with friends, find friends to skate with, and just have a really killer session. That's something that we've never been able to do, but we were able to do back in the days. When I was growing up, we had local skate shops, and I was able to go over there and get my skates dialed in before a session. And that's awesome. I want to be able to do that. I do think that skate shops are valuable. I think that giving back to the community is only going to come back to you in positive. You know, I've given away so much content, I've given away so much product, and I've gotten a lot in return. And I don't see any reason that I'll be changing after this pandemic. I was doing it before, and I'll be doing it after. Great question, though. It will be interesting to track this time next year how things are, right? Blader Union, just wanted to call out how thankful we are that we have you in skating. We don't deserve you. Thank you for everything you've done and put a breath of fresh air back in the skating. Well, thank you so much. It is amazing to have this community. I do hope that you can come on and visit. Charlotte's not that far, and I know Portland's pretty far, but you can always come out and visit. But yeah, thanks. It's been great. It's awesome to be able to give back to a community that returns the energy, and I wouldn't do it if it was just me sitting in a vacuum. All right. Den says, what are your thoughts on the new DLK skates, Charles Dunkel's company? I don't have any thoughts because I haven't really seen any skates yet. I know there's been some recent events with some disagreements, and I don't really like getting into the gossip side of things. Everybody has bad nights. Everybody has bad days. I don't take it too seriously. If somebody has a problem with me, I hope they talk to me about it and we resolve it. Like, I don't think that I have any enemies out there or people who hate me. If they do, talk to me about it. I don't think that posting on Facebook about it is the right way to go about resolving issues. That's all I'll say about that. As far as the skates are concerned, I haven't really seen anything yet, so it's really hard to judge. I do think that John Julio has done an amazing job with them. I do think that he makes it look easy. I think that running a skate company is not easy. We have looked into it. Full disclosure, I've looked into making skates, and it's friggin' expensive. Not only is it expensive just to get the materials for the skates, like the actual skates made, but then how do you get them? I have to spend thousands of dollars to get frames over. Like a pack of frames is like this big, right? It fits into this little bag. How big is a skate? Like, I can't fit this in the bag. Get in the bag. There. This is what I deal with. So this is a pack of compass frames. This big box was the USD Sway. Like, how do you deal with that? Where do you put them all? Like, where do you put the boxes? There's so much to think about with skates. I don't know that it's easy, and I hope that Charles knows what he's doing. I have no reason to say that he doesn't, but it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of money that might be hidden costs to bring skates in. Overall, I think if he's got a passion for something, though, do it. Like, I think anybody should follow their dreams. If he's dreamed about building a skate and starting a team with his friends, I see no reason why he shouldn't. He's an amazing skater. I think, he's definitely driven to do it. So until I see the skates, though, it's really hard to judge. I've seen some pictures, but I know that they're all working samples, so that doesn't really help me much. I want to see the official, here's what the skate looks like and here's when you can order it post. Until then, I'm not going to really comment on the skate itself. It is a great question, though. Rachel Norkin says, do both liners say hi? That is an excellent question. I don't know. So I will take the other one out. So one of the liners on this said hi. The other one looks like it says hi. If the other one said something different, what would it say? Let me know in the comments. The other one says hi as well. Great question. Mystery solved. Blading on the Brain, I think I have that liner now. That is the Fat Boy that I was thinking of. It was in my Imperials. I have the Skinny Boys in my Aeons. These are the Skinny Boys in the Aeons. They are not fat boys. These are the skinny boys that say skinny boy with 2 N's on the side and skinny boy with 1 N on the tongue. Because typos are fun in product. John East says, Lawrence, can you weigh those? How does it weigh compared to your USD carbons and USD 7s? Excellent question. I have my scale. Let me go get it. Here's the scale. Let's weigh some skates. So let me set it up on this. I'll set it up right here. Let's do it in grams because it is nice to do grams. 0 grams. The USD Sway, this is boot only, no frame. 1308, boot only, 1308. I don't have a tool, but I'll do the carbon with the frame and then I will weigh a frame. I think I have a frame complete that I can weigh. So carbon with the 50-50 balance frame with anti-rocker and 60s is 1754. And then do I have a frame? I don't have a frame. I lied, I don't have a frame. These numbers aren't going to mean anything because I have to get a control. And that means taking the frames off the skates, which I cannot do. I'm no luck. I can put the frame in, but it's not going to have the wheels and everything. How about this? Next time I will bring a tool and I will take the frames off for you so you can get your measurements. It does feel as though boot only. Do I have any other boot onlys? It does feel as though it's a pretty light skate. The biggest problem that this is going to have is the sole plate. I do have my 7s. I can weigh them compared to my 7s. Don't have sole plates either. The biggest problem is this sole plate has a lot of unnecessary plastic because it's a raised heel. So this back area needs to have a thicker sole plate than this front area. So there's a lot of plastic in here that doesn't get used. It's unfortunate, but a skate like a USD 7, where it's completely flat, is going to be lighter because it doesn't have as much plastic on the sole plate. Still, I wouldn't say these are heavy. Adam Tomlinson, I am hoping to get them and wear them with my red frames. Does look great with red frames. I think white frames might be the way to go, though. Spooky Boots, you make any skates look good. Yeah, you haven't seen me in white skates, have you? White skates, it's a tough look for me, but I'm determined to make it look good. I will not let you down. All right, this is when we were voting. I'm going through the chat and I see a lot of voting for the whites and the reds. Sean Michelson's got any white and red Richard core frames. That would be sick. I don't have any core frames. I did see somebody posting with some core frames though. That is a good setup. Definitely, I don't have any, but definitely we'll keep an eye out if I can get some. And maybe I'll just spray paint the cores red. That would be a good look. Even if it's just for show, it's the way to go. Justin Thursday, what size is that boot? It looks giant with those frames. This is the 44. I think the shell is the 43-44. These do look like large frames. Remember, these frames don't have wheels on them, so it does look smaller with these. Let me test to make sure that these are the right size. They might be medium frames. These are medium frames. So yeah, these are the wrong frames. They just happen to be the frames that I could reach. You can tell lining it up groove to groove. This would be another 10 mil longer on each end. So Yes, frames look short because they are short. They're too short for those. Good catch. Good eye. Paying attention. I like that. All right. Greg Eisenman, wasn't the skate in your first video a white skate? The Razors, I think. Yes, the SL3s. I have skated other white skates. I have these Aeons that I like. But I don't like white skates. I think the look down is weird for me. I'm just not a fan. I like black skates. So, not to say that I shouldn't wear white skates, but it's going to be weird. It's going to be a weird look down. I'm going to feel very fancy with the Montres. I feel like I don't deserve them because I'm just so used to straight black skates that are just black. Those are going to be like, I'm going out. I'm going out to see the world, to see a show, something like that. Those SL3s, I definitely, those SL3s, I enjoyed those skates, but I didn't know any better. Those were my first skates back. They were a great skate, but I sold them. You know, I probably should have kept them, but they weren't really for me. All right, I think, oh, there's a few more. Sorry. Mr. Self-Destroy, do you still have that pair of long 298 K2 unnatural frames? I do. I'm looking at them right now. They are long AF. I don't know why they ever made a frame that long. Conversely, these are the normal unnatural frames, and these are like 255, I think. And they're amazing. Look at that frame. It's a beautiful frame. I mean, compare this to the Mega frame, right? Where'd the Mega frame go? Uh-oh. Did I lose it? Did I take it down? Where'd I go? I've got too many skates. Oh, they're hiding under Montre's. Montre's hiding them. Shima is hiding under Montre's box. Here it is. Yeah, look at these grooves. So this is a much wider groove. This was much easier to do Royales on. This was really tight. Lengthwise, this one looks a little bit longer, but not by much. God, K2 had a really great frame. Yeah, not by much. Very close. But this one has a bigger split. That's why. It's a bigger split. Yeah, I don't know why the Megas are like this. They could be so much wider. It could be so much wider, and it could be much better with wheel bite protection. Feels like a missed opportunity, but these are really good. Yes, I still have them, and I still love them. I think they're just an oddity. The longest frames I have. They might be even longer than the mushroom blading frames, or at least about the same size. They're short. They're definitely longer than the Wish frames. Matt Brister, have you had a chance to look at the Bernal Pro Carbon Free book? Stuck between that and Lomax Aeons, where I won't like skating flat. If you know what you're doing, I would recommend the Bernal Carbon Frees. And the reason is that an Aeon is a great skate for all-around skating. But I feel like if you don't see a lot of pro skating Aeons, and that tells you something. I think the Aeon is a great skate, but I feel like you can get so much better. The fit for the Aeon is really hit or miss because this area up here, even on the Lomax doesn't have the cloth lacing thing. Maybe the new red Lomax does, but the green Lomax don't. This wide spot makes it feel like your foot is just kind of flopping around inside a boat. Like the cinching feeling that I love with the Shimas, you get none of that with this. You cannot tighten these skates enough. So that means that when you're skating, your foot just kind of flops around on the inside. That's not a good feeling. With the Carbon Free, you're going to have that cinching feeling that I love and a much, much better ride. Add to that, you're going to have UFS, which, you know, love it or hate it, there are a lot of great UFS frame options out there. The Aeon frame is very special, but you're stuck with the Aeon frame. So if you wanted to skate anti-rocker, it's not a great frame for skating anti-rocker. I would definitely, if you were deciding between the two, I would get the Bernals. It might be a little bit more expensive, but I think you're going to find that you'll skate them for longer and it'll be a much better investment. If you were just getting back into it though, get the Aeons, take them out of the box and go skate. You're gonna have a great time. You don't have to worry about UFS. You won't have to worry about figuring out your wheel setup or anything like that. Just go out there and skate and you're gonna have a great time. Kevin Silva, any plans on designing a frame for riding flat? Well, first of all, I take offense to that. I skate flat on my balance frames all the time. But yeah, I get it. It's not the greatest. So balance frames are definitely good for skating flat, but you need smaller wheels. So 56 millimeter is probably ideal. Nothing to announce, but we're definitely testing 56s to see if we could find a profile that would be good for skating flat on balance frames. However, that's not the end game. We are working on new frames. Nothing to report tonight. No timeline on when things are going to be announced or released. But you know, I'm always working on new projects. Having a frame that would be more contemporary definitely is on my list. The balance frame we designed in 2002, that's 20 years ago. Things have changed, and I want to make sure that we have a frame that has changed with the times. Again, nothing to report yet, but definitely we're working on some new projects that hopefully I'll be able to share in a couple of months. Spooky Boots, is that hoodie in black? It is only in white for this run. It is a limited run, so when they sell out, they'll sell out. And then when we do version 2, we'll do different colors and different everything. Blading on the Brain, can I go 84 millimeter wheels in the 80 millimeter compass frames with adapt skates? Yes, but you're gonna have to do some mods to the H block. So the H block, the split for the wheels 2 and 3 for the 80 millimeter and the 72 millimeter is 160. No, it's more than that. It's 164 millimeters. That makes sense. Yeah, 164 millimeters, which is perfect because the H block is only 2 millimeters thick. So the 80s get really close, they're like a millimeter away from rubbing on the H block, but they won't because they're 80s. If you ride 84s, they won't rub on each other, but they will rub on the H block. So if you take out the H block, you can ride 84s in there. With the recess, it will fit just fine. It is an easy mod to do. We don't recommend it because you have to do an actual mod with a Dremel or with a hacksaw to take out that H block, and you'll break my heart. But yes, you can definitely ride 84s if you want. 84s are a really good setup. Again, I would, if you have adapts, I would probably recommend the 72s with the 76s. I think that balance is better because you still have that lower center of gravity. As soon as you start getting taller with like 80 millimeter frames, it starts to get a little bit more unwieldy with a UFS boot, at least in my experience. Your adapts though, with the carbon, with the 45-degree strap, probably okay. You can probably swing 84s, no problem. You could probably swing 90s, no problem too, but maybe not in that frame. I've never tried 90s in these frames. I don't think you can fit them. Sounds like a lot of recess for 90s. I mean, it wouldn't fit because it's 260, so they would rub. But 84s, I think you could make work. All right, I think that is all the questions. I think that's it. Excellent. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. It is always fun to do Gear Talk. This is my favorite time of the week. I love hanging out with y'all. In 2 weeks, what's going to change? So we'll have the compass wheels in that I can, or the compass wheels, Chroma wheels in that I can share. We will have probably some new stuff from Fitty Fitty. We got wheel shipment coming in next week, which might bring some new stuff that I can share. So excited about that. Otherwise, yeah, just going to try to skate as much as I can. With the warehouse, it's nice because we're able to skate indoors. It's supposed to snow tonight, so it's going to be cold. But we will be skating the warehouse tomorrow. Tune into that. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell so that you know when we go live. Typically, it's around lunchtime. Might be a little earlier tomorrow. because I think I have a meeting at 1, and I always like to give myself a little bit more time. So it might be like 11:30, but I do plan on skating tomorrow. I will be back on the Shima's anti-rocker because that is my favorite setup so far. I'm really enjoying that setup. Think that's it. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to contact me, leave a comment in this video, or get me on the Back to Blading contact form. Hope everybody is being safe out there and smart. Things are looking better, but they're still not great. I know that a lot of areas are looking really good right now. So thank you all for listening to each other and taking each other seriously and caring about each other. It's super important. I hope everybody has a great week. Hope everybody is getting out there and skating as much as they can. And I will see you in 2 weeks.